everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you also to Matt and James for pulling this all together. It's really great to read with Gracie, and it's really, really great to. It's going to be great to see you guys perform here. So I'm mostly going to read from a manuscript I've got called Cull. I'm going to read from as sequence, probably the entirety of it, and I'm going to close with some new stuff. I forgot to print them out, and I have to bring them out, so I got to read it from my phone. I don't know how I feel about that whenever I see people read from their phones, but whatever. You don't care, right? Or extended. Lacing tenor. Bend. Tune. Elongated difference between performances there at Calvary, sung and not. Lapse patterns into the latitudes of intent. Moves punctuating this. Contingents. A gesture. Eclipsed ascent. Passages of ash. Coil. Phrases in sustain. Carrion swells. Versions of trust. Its features lit. Bloom. As cascading. A distance. Against. An occurrence of gestures attenuated to what now is not. Combinant terms for that which. Function that it is not. Resistance, one without separation. This circuit, that which will not. Show a shape of that which, without forms, striation, nets. What this is not. Striation functions without forms. Separation of the same set. What is, what will not. the previous forms. Circuit nets. The shape, set, mat resistance, what is not. The properties mapped. Forms of gesture and detail. The shape of the same. This without. That's for Leslie Scalapino. And this is for my friend Andrea, who was followed by the Oakland Police Department yesterday. They followed her around all day via helicopter. A single helicopter followed her all around Oakland yesterday. It's not a joke. She was wearing anarchist black.
Artist black.
Sequence as was wont. Motion in grained air. Copula of sequences, descent as wont. Skin braced in water. Was wont and dust. Lit present of. What recursion in movement. Sequence was as movement in water. Was movement, was want of dust, as skin, sequence as nested, unknowing, dawn, braced skin, movement, body and unknowing, want of, motion. As was wont, embraced movement, want of voice, braided motion. Sequence as voice, voice of skin, nested, motion. Voice was want, and dust, braided dawn, unknowing. Was want, as was dust. What fitted in memory, particles of can't. The next, without, tresses of knowing. As absence, after, an unknowing, locus of areas as this, not. As coupling, this as an automatic facture, cut as sinews, packed, clasped. In this, its method is as coppice, as presence, as corresponding pieces, a sky direct. Diminished images in practice, lace motes as a slant light. Lattice of silts, enclosures, cull, tenses of form, an alternating pattern. Reiterative, remaining what it was. Motion in recursion, as exposed, what nested shifts of difference as classed, parallel tenses in sequence, foliate. Fitted intervals, patinated night. Sequence shifts, the forms still of developing, transects, the grays of dates. This at margin, arrival in acceptance of what was known, became. Fitted intervals, patinated night, became peel. And I'm going to read these new ones. So literally, I'm just kind of testing these out. If they're garbage, don't blame me. Fine-grained, what became, was skin, was sun, remaining what black became this, vertical, a knowledge, remaining not gradient, became currents of air, of what attracts us, was. Writ earth, a gradient, shapes, as implements of shape. Medium, as time. Nave, tines, a continuity in a room, reverberations, entrance of a kind of light. Fitted reflections, shares, shafts, angle through terminology, a fading, the present displaced. Shafts at angles against, longer. That's it.